Namaskar viewers, hello and welcome to Sansad TV. I am Tina Jha, you're watching Perspective. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has called on Indians across the country to participate in the Your Money, Your Right, Aapki Poonji, Aapka Adhikar movement, a nationwide effort to help citizens reclaim what is rightfully theirs. Coordinated by the Department of Financial Services, Ministry of Finance, the campaign brings together the Reserve Bank of India, the Securities and Exchange Board of India, the Insurance Regulatory and Development Authority of India, the Pension Fund Regulatory and Development Authority, and the Investor Education and Protection Fund Authority, alongside the banks, insurance companies, mutual funds and pension institutions on a common platform with one common purpose: to make it simple, transparent and hassle-free for people to track and recover their unclaimed assets. Recently, Prime Minister Modi also shared important facts and figures about unclaimed funds and reiterated his government's commitment to ensuring that every citizen is able to retrieve what belongs to them. Let's listen in.
आपको ये जानकर हैरानी होगी कि आज देश के बैंकों में हमारे ही देश के नागरिकों का 78,000 करोड़ रुपया, 78,000 करोड़ रुपये अनक्लेम पड़ा है बैंकों में। पता नहीं कौन है, किसका है, कहां है। इस पैसे को कोई पूछने वाला नहीं है। इसी तरह इंश्योरेंस कंपनियों के पास करीब 14,000 करोड़ रुपए पड़े हैं। म्यूचुअल फंड कंपनियों के पास करीब 3,000 करोड़ रुपए पड़े हैं। 9,000 करोड़ रुपए डिविडेंड का पड़ा है और ये सब अनक्लेम पड़ा हुआ है, कोई मालिक नहीं उसका। ये पैसा गरीब और मध्यम वर्गीय परिवारों का है और इसलिए जिसके हैं वो तो भूल चुका है। हमारी सरकार अब उनको ढूंढ रही है देश भर में। अरे भाई बताओ, तुम्हारा तो पैसा नहीं था, तुम्हारे माँ बाप का तो नहीं था, कोई छोड़ के तो नहीं चला गया। हम जान रहे हैं हमारी सरकार उसके हकदार तक पहुंचने में जुटी हुई है और इसके लिए सरकार ने स्पेशल कैंप लगाना शुरू किया है। लोगों को समझा रहा है कि भाई देखिए, कोई है, कोई अता पता आपके पैसे कहीं है क्या, गए हैं क्या। अब तक करीब 500 डिस्ट्रिक्ट्स में हम ऐसे कैंप लगाकर हजारों करोड़ रुपए असली हकदारों को हम दे चुके हैं जी। पैसे पड़े थे, कोई पूछने वाला नहीं था, लेकिन मोदी है, ढूंढ रहा है, अरे यार तेरा है, ले जा।
The nationwide campaign is already underway across all states and union territories. Facilitation camps have been set up in 477 districts, including remote rural regions. Also, dedicated digital portals have been created to streamline the process. Through these combined efforts, nearly 2,000 crore rupees have already been returned to rightful owners. So on the show today, we take a closer look at how this movement can become a transformative step towards a more transparent, financially aware and financially empowered India. Joining us on the program are two distinguished experts, Dr. Charan Singh, CEO, EGROW Foundation. Professor, always a delight to welcome you on the program. Thank you for joining us. I'm also pleased to welcome Dr. S.P. Sharma, Chief Economist, NNRC, NDIM, Neo Research Center. Dr. Sharma, thank you for joining in. Welcome to the program. In fact, Professor, there are so many aspects about this movement that we can talk about. But to begin with, for a common citizen watching this program, if you could explain to us what unclaimed assets are, how do the deposits and the investments become unclaimed? If you could begin by explaining that to us.
Yeah, that's a fantastic question to a person who also has many unclaimed assets. Now, through this campaign, I'm realizing that when I was a young officer in the Reserve Bank, we used to have schemes like deep discount bonds. And then we have undergone transfers from one place to the other. The documents are with us, but we did not know whom to ask that money. The institutions have gone. IDBI had come out with deep discount bonds. Now that IDBI doesn't do. But with the Prime Minister now launching this, I was so excited that even I have those papers with me. I know where to go, where is the portal. I was running through the portals myself and I saw they are working. And that's very exciting that I'll be able to reclaim some of my own money.
Oh, that's amazing.
But let me answer that question in a more professional way. Look, I think Prime Minister said that this is the middle income and poor people whose money is here. I totally agree with that. And I would also like to add many older people, because when we grow old and during our youth, we have saved so much money here and there, and then we have undergone transfers, movement. Sometimes we lose track of them. And here is the Prime Minister looking for us and telling us your money is lying safe with us. I realized in my bank account, which I had opened about 40 years ago, there is some money lying there. So I'm very thrilled with this scheme. How does it happen? Let me give you some live example. We have opened a bank account, say 40 years ago, and now you have moved from one place to the other. Some balance has been kept in the bank, thinking that I may come back. Now this money over a period of time then becomes dormant, and then the bank is not able to trace where you are. Sometimes they can apply more effort and trace you, but sometimes they don't, and this money becomes dormant and then goes into the dormant account and then goes into the RBI. Similarly, the institutions have come out at different points of time with different schemes. I was giving you an illustration of deep discount bonds. These were done sometimes in 1991, 92, and then you find them there, the times have changed. Deep discount bonds were for 25, 30 years. Now sometimes you lose the sheet, sometimes you misplace it, and all this then goes unclaimed. Similarly with dividends, you have invested in a company and then even that becomes very difficult. You know that I have chaired a bank courtesy Government of India for about 5 years. This was Punjab and Sindh Bank with 1500 branches, most of it in North India. You will be surprised to know we were facing a very difficult situation after the 1984 riots. Many lockers were unclaimed.
Right.
So there can be very genuine reasons when the money is unclaimed, and therefore the government's initiative, especially the DFS and the finance minister's initiative, is a very congratulatory initiative, and I think it should be done. Two things happen here. I'll be very quick. The first is we know the money is safe. That is such a great feeling in anybody, young and old, that you have invested money, you have saved money, it's your hard-earned money, you have saved, and it is lying safe. The other, it speaks volumes about the intention of our institutions who really are chasing people and saying it is your money. And this is at the initiative of the Prime Minister, which I think is very congratulatory, that it is your money, you are the owner of it, we want to give it back to you. I think this only enhances of the regulators, be it insurance, be it mutual funds, be it SEBI, be it RBI, and be it important commercial banks. It only enhances the prestige, the confidence, and the trust that once you have put money in these institutions, it never just goes away. It is you who can forget it. They never forget it. I think that's a fantastic campaign they have started.
Absolutely. I think towards strengthening the citizen-centric governance, towards bringing back that trust of people in these institutions, it's a remarkable step. But as Professor rightly pointed out, Dr. Sharma, I'll take the discussion forward. I'll bring in your perspective on the fact that all this while, there have been people across the country who have had unclaimed assets, but they've not been they've been unaware and unsure of how to reclaim that asset. It's a fantastic initiative which the government calls Your Money, Your Right, Aapki Poonji, Aapka Adhikar. Tell us about how this initiative will help an ordinary person find out in the first place whether they have unclaimed assets, because it's not necessary that it belongs to them. It could belong to their fathers or the late family members, and now they are the rightful owners. How do they know that they are rightful owners of some kind of asset which is lying unclaimed?
Yes, Tina, firstly, I would like to congratulate the government. You rightly said that this government is for the welfare of the citizens. And the government is very keen to provide the policy perspective starting from its formation in 2014. Then they started the Make in India, thereafter the Startup India, and many policies for the facilitation of the industry, for the trade, for the people, and the policies like Jan Dhan Yojana. These policies were very, very fruitful for the masses and for the 140 crore people. So now this policy is majorly for ease of living. I would say that this is now facilitating the masses because many times, as Dr. Charan Singh also mentioned, that everybody is victim of such kind of developments that they sometimes forget their accounts, or sometimes they are transfers, or sometimes their mutual fund benefits are unclaimed. So this problem is very, very prominent in the economy because of the various developments. As we are a growing economy, we are growing significantly, and we are moving from here to there, and we have transfers, and sometimes because now the digitalization process has started, but before that, many processes were through the physical documentation. So when this transformation took place, many accounts were not operative there. So the purpose of government is very clear. The initiative focuses on helping the individuals reclaim their unclaimed funds, such as the bank deposits or the insurance proceeds or the mutual fund balances and the dividends. And this is a great collaboration, as you rightly mentioned, that the Reserve Bank of India has collaborated with the Insurance Regulatory and Development Authority, and the most prominent body like the Investor Education and Protection Fund Authority. They know each and everything. So they are also collaborated with the two prominent organizations, and this will continue for 3 months, starting from October to December, and there is a dedicated online portal because as you rightly mentioned that how to know about whether they have some funds or not. So there are dedicated online portals from where they can find out their unclaimed funds in the mutual funds or in the insurance or in the banks. Sometimes they have their bank accounts, but they are not able to claim because those bank accounts are dormant. So as Dr. Charan Singh mentioned, so with the help of their bank accounts, they can find out the unclaimed fund with the interest rate also, and then they can claim through the online processes. So that
Certainly.
is
So
the
we will also talk about how user-friendly these dedicated portals are, and what kind of information is required in order to access these portals. But one interesting aspect that you pointed out, which I wanted to ask Professor Singh about, is one of those rare occasions where you see the RBI, the SEBI, the IRDAI, the PFRDA coming on one platform with one common purpose. Professor, why was this coordinated approach necessary to ensure that this initiative achieves the desired goal? And how does it make the procedure easier? Because when you have so many regulators on one platform, it's going to be a challenge to make the procedure seamless, easier and transparent.
See, there are a couple of things that I would like to mention in this. There can be arguments that the regulators, the RBI or SEBI, is not run by the professionals who come like with PhD in economics. But look at the positive side. At this point of time, all the regulators are civil servants. They have come through the rigmarole of the civil services. They know the procedure, they know public practices, they know public policy in a very big way. And they have been brought in at that helm of affairs because they have the necessary qualifications or practical experience. Now, they are from the same civil services, and therefore coordination becomes very, very easy as far as the interpersonal relations are concerned. Now, when it comes to the regulatory role and regulatory responsibilities, I would say that at the end of the day, it is the depositor's money. It goes into a mutual fund, goes into a commercial bank, goes into an insurance company, wherever it goes, it's the depositor's money. That understanding, last 4 or 5 years, I've realized this, that the Department of Financial Services, the Government of India, the Ministry of Finance have always campaigned that we are customer centric. The focus is the customer. The focus is the citizen, the rights of the citizen. That's why at different places I say the Prime Minister has come through the procedure of being a Chief Minister and then working with the people. So the focus is not academic, the focus is not desk research, the focus is practical, citizen focused now. Given that citizen focus is there, what are the issues that are really troubling the citizen or inhibiting the citizen? So I think this campaign, keeping in mind the customer centric, the citizen centric, and the three major regulators from the same civil services, I think the coordination was important, is easy, and seamless. Now, your question, how easy are the portals and how quick is the delivery? I have been very lucky. I've gone through the portals myself. They are in English and Hindi. They are asking you for very basic information which you and me can have. Of course, you can say why are they not in regional languages? But if you look at the modules that have been made or the standard operating practices, they have been done into multiple languages. While they are reaching out through the 477 camps that you're mentioning, they are also reaching out through multiple languages. So it's not that they're only restricted to Hindi or English, they're reaching out in different languages of the country, they're reaching out to masses. The other thing, again, I have tried it myself. I had discovered that I had something in insurance which was unclaimed and I didn't remember it. So I went to them and they wanted me to show them the document, original which I had, and they also wanted me to give a self-attested certificate saying, and with a witness of course, a self-attested certificate saying that I have not claimed it earlier, and if somebody else takes a claim that I have to then understand that. And this whole thing took less than a week and I got my money. So I think it's customer centric and ease of doing business in terms of the customer focus is quite easy. It is doable. I don't think there's any difficulty in that.
So we've spoken about what the initiative is all about, how it works. Let's now also talk about how empowering is it or how big a movement it is for India's financial landscape. Dr. Sharma, while it builds trust of the people in these institutions, how do you look at this one-off movement to return the unclaimed money of the people back to them, contributing to financial empowerment? Because when you have greater trust of the people in your institutions, it contributes to empowering the financial landscape. How do you see this initiative enhancing that, that trust and that kind of contribution to our financial ecosystem?
Yes, Tina, very important question because now we are moving significantly. Our growth rate is very robust. We are growing more than 7% during the last 4 or 5 financial years on an average. And going forward, we have great expectations that we will grow more than 7% for the current year also, as the numbers are very much sound at around 8% in the first half. So at this juncture, the sabka saath, Vishwas is very, very important as this is working now significantly practically in the economic trajectory of the Indian economy. So now we have to move forward with more and more confidence of the people, and the government is building that confidence with such kind of initiatives like this is for the ease of living, as I mentioned earlier. And this is a great synchronization of the organizations and institutions like the Reserve Bank of India and the IRDA. These many major organizations are collaborating to facilitate the people, facilitate the citizens of the India. And this synchronization is not only for this purpose. This is also within the major policy makers like the Reserve Bank of India is now very much synchronized with the fiscal policy environment and for the promotion of growth and development of the economy. And the states are very much synchronized with the policies of the central government, and banks are now synchronized with the policies of the Reserve Bank of India. So all these developments are on the back of confidence building by the government during the last many years, starting from the initiatives of Make in India to now our journey towards Viksit Bharat by 2047, and many reforms undertaken by the government during the last 10-11 years. So I would say this is going to benefit the economy, as this is 78,000 crore is not a little money. This is a great chunk of money which will be boosting the trajectory of Indian economy through the increased purchasing power of the people, because this is the added advantage for the Indian economy. And I think this is going to add in our GDP by 0.1 to 0.2 percentage points in the coming months. So I would say this initiative is very, very appreciable, and this will benefit the people, benefit the economy, benefit the businesses, and benefit the banks also in their regulatory processes. They will be able to disburse the such kind of blocked money to the actual people. So going forward, I think the process of the government, process of the reforms will continue, and we will see more reforms coming in the trajectory of Indian economy and facilitating the people, facilitating the businesses to create a great environment for the people to move forward and to become more and more strong to join the campaign of Viksit Bharat by 2047.
Certainly, a much needed step towards further strengthening the citizen-centric governance, ensuring ease of living and getting back the trust of the people in the institutions. But a question that comes to mind, Professor Singh, is while this is a remarkable initiative because 7,800 crore is what the amount is in unclaimed money, but what more can the regulators and the institutions do to make sure that money never becomes unclaimed in the first place? Can we have a mechanism where there is no concept of something unclaimed?
Brilliant question. Let me share this with you. First thing I want to mention is this is a clear distinction between a money lender and a commercial bank regulated by the authorities. Clear distinction. So the movement that the Prime Minister started under the Jan Dhan on a mission mode, making financial inclusion very, very important. This sort of an initiative is 10 years since we started the Jan Dhan Yojana. This sort of an initiative only strengthens that people, rather than going to the money lender, should come to the properly financial institution which is regulated by the Reserve Bank or by SEBI or IRDA. So I think to that extent, it strengthens the financialization of the Indian economy, or in that sense, strengthening the organized sector of the economy, which is very, very important for development. Now the issue is when all these, for example, the accounts that I was explaining, my own account was opened in 1980s. Now that time there was no core banking, no computerization, nothing digital, but now we have. That time the type of entries that were done, we didn't even have a PAN card, so PAN number is not there. But today we have Aadhaar number, we have the PAN, and we have the digital world. For us now to trace an individual is far more easier. Suppose these accounts were done, say 6 years back or 7 years back, was the Jan Dhan and core banking was doing its job, this sort of a situation would not emerge. It might be pure forgetfulness at my end, but the institution would easily trace me out because they would have my identification in terms of my Aadhaar card and my PAN card, and they would reach out to me. But because these are very old accounts, these are before the digitalization took place, obviously this exercise is necessary, and the approach which they are making through the districts, there are about 600 districts, they are already covered 500 districts, they are doing into rural, they are going into urban, they are going to semi-urban, they are asking the banks to do the initiatives, banks will go to their SLBCs, and in this sort of a way, the way they are fanning out into the population, they are able to bring back the people who had opened their accounts or the unclaimed accounts that were done before the digitalization started taking place. So I think now, once we are computerized, once we have the Aadhaar card and we are able to trace each individual, this sort of a situation won't arise.
Certainly, digitalization has huge advantages, but also coming to the challenges, it's a double-edged sword, Professor Sharma, Dr. Sharma. So each time you promote financial schemes online, there will be a fear of fraud. And when the Finance Ministry says that this campaign is guided by 3 principles: awareness, accessibility, and action. In order to build awareness and public trust, how do you ensure, how do you make sure that citizens don't fall for fake websites, fraudulent agents, which are the official URLs that you have to use. If you would want to highlight about some of these steps that are being taken for the awareness part of the campaign, because that is where the success of the campaign will lie in the coming months. It's going on till the 31st of December. So we still have a few more weeks to go about. To make sure that the desired objective is achieved, awareness is going to be the key. And now that the Prime Minister has spoken about it, it's making headlines, and we are also covering it on our program. And it's important for people to know about what the right portals are, what the right platforms are, so that the scamsters do not target them in the first place.
Yes, this is very important. Actually, your first factor, awareness, is very, very important, because we need awareness for this program, more awareness for this program. Many people are still not aware this kind of campaign, that this is happening in the economy, and you can claim your unclaimed funds. So I believe the awareness should happen at the ground level through the papers, regional languages, and because many, as you rightly mentioned, and Prime Minister also mentioned, that many people are from the not that much higher status. They are from the rural areas or other segments of the economy. So they need awareness through various programs like the newspapers, or the some awareness through the panchayats, or awareness through the radio programs. Some such kind of thing should happen, so that they are able to benefit from this very revolutionary scheme, which is going to end on 31st of December. So awareness part is needed, not only to stop the frauds, but also to claim the unclaimed money, which is very important, actually, as we have only 20 days left for this, 21 days left for this campaign. So going forward, I suggest that there must be more and more awareness programs through the TV channels, or the radio, and the print media, and through the social media segments also, so that people are able to take benefit of such kind of welfare schemes.
Okay. As we wrap up the conversation, Professor, one last comment from you, especially for those viewers or people who may still feel hesitant or unsure, since you've used the portal, what reassurance can you give them that this entire process is not just safe and transparent, but truly citizen friendly, and it's going to help them in so many ways?
Yes, I would be very, very transparent in this. When I was also very scared of going and doing this, doing a headache. Should I go for this money? Can I afford to let it go? Because this is going to be a nightmare getting it back. It turned out to be it's far more easier than my fears. So I think the portals are good. You can talk to the bank. The banks have core banking. You can walk into any bank and say, look, in your bank, in that branch, I had opened an account. I'll give you one very quick illustration. I had a passbook of my mother in 1977. She passed away in 2007. State Bank of India was able to dig out her accounts in 2024. Can you imagine how well these banks are and how strong they are? The account of 1977, they had scanned it, they had maintained the passbook up there in headquarters, though it was a dormant account, obviously a dormant account and unclaimed, but they were able to fish it out. So that is the level of efficiency with which the Indian banking system is working, very robust, and people are friendly. People are keen to help, and there's a design claim. And you see, one more thing I would like to mention. When the top political power in the country is pushing the idea, the bureaucrats, the bankers, everybody wants to deliver. At the end of the day, it is something very good which is happening. It strengthens the elderly or the weak or the middle income. So everybody wants to put in their might and say, okay, it improves the welfare. So I think it's worth the try. And 1 lakh odd crore which is lying there unclaimed, if the word spreads, many people, including like me, would like to go and take the benefit, which is very easy.
Absolutely. I think the discussion today leaves us with a very profound message that don't let what is yours be forgotten. Aapki poonji, aapka adhikar, your money is yours. Take a few minutes, visit the official portals, also help your family members do so, and you may discover that something that you might have thought is lost is actually waiting to be claimed. So with that, we'll have to wrap up this conversation. Thank you once again, Professor Singh and Dr. Sharma, for joining us and helping us understand about what this initiative is all about, helping people understand why they must go to these portals and reclaim what is rightfully theirs. Thank you once again for your valuable time. To you viewers, thank you very much for your time as well.
संसद टीवी के और भी प्रोग्राम्स देखने के लिए सब्सक्राइब करें हमारा YouTube चैनल और हाँ, इन्हें लाइक और शेयर करना ना भूलें।